Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to a very special evening here. I'm Jerry Punch from ESPN and ABC, and it is a pleasure and an honor for me to be asked to serve your MC tonight. We have a lot of entertaining things to share with you, including honoring a very special man tonight with an inaugural award, and you will hear from some of the legends in sports. In motorsports, some of them live here, some of them by way of video, and I think you will be entertained. If you're asking why me, well, I asked the same question, but I am honored. I've been doing racing for 30 years, 30 years of NASCAR. This past May, I was blessed to do my 23rd Indianapolis 500, and I was talking to Chip earlier. My very first live ABC telecast of the Indy 500 was back in 1989 when he was co-owner with Pat Patrick, and a guy by the name of Emerson Fittipaldi won the Indy 500. I know you've heard of him, but so we go way back. So the folks here felt like maybe I know something about Chip, and when they called me, the folks from International Motor Racing Research said, "Do you know a lot about Chip?" I said, "I do, but most of it I can't tell." But I will come and share with you some of the stories of this man's career and some of the incredible achievements. Now, when we talk about Chip Ganassi achievements, we're talking about not counting this season in IMSA, IndyCar, and NASCAR. Ganassi's teams have won 17 championships in 24 years of ownership. This is the 25th year, by the way. Included in that number were a 10th IndyCar Series championship in 2013 with Scott Dixon, a 7th Grand Am, now the Tudor United Sports Car Championship in the last 10 years. They also won the Rolex 24 at Daytona 5 times. And this year, in the very first attempt, they won the 12 Hours of Sebring. And you top that off in the month of May, which is always special for anybody in motorsports. And Jamie McMurray, who's sitting here to my right, won the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. And how special was that? And you'll hear from Jamie later. Now you understand why Chip Ganassi's passion for the sport has grown so much since he was a child growing up in Pittsburgh. You know, we're going to talk with Chip later, and before the evening is over, Chip and I are going to sit here and we're going to share some memories and some special thoughts about the people who made it possible for Chip and some of the memories he had as an owner, and also what got him into this sport and how he got started, what lit the fire in Chip Ganassi when he was a little boy. And I look forward to hearing those stories. But tonight we're here to honor him as the inaugural Cameron R. Argetsinger Award for his contributions to motorsports. Now, we're introducing you to the International Motor Racing Research Center, which is a 501c3 nonprofit library dedicated to the preservation and sharing of motorsports history through its archives. That's just up the road here in Watkins Glen. We're going to tell you more about that. But take a look at this short video, which will describe the history of the IMRRC.
It was 1948 in this small upstate New York town that modern American road racing was born. The brainchild of an ambitious young lawyer and car enthusiast, Cameron Argetsinger.
My father had an MG, and he'd read about the great races in Europe, and he wanted to recreate a race of that type here in Watkins Glen. And he persuaded the village fathers. Here's this young man, 27 years old with an MG, who sold them on this crazy idea. Let's have a race right down the main street, past the courthouse, up the hill, around the gorge. And amazingly, 10,000 people showed up. And it was an immediate success. And they planned for the next year, and there were something like 50,000 people who showed up. But crowd control became very difficult. There were private owners who owned the land, and we really could not keep people back away from the road. And in 1956, the present road track was built, and it was modeled on a European race course. And in 1961, the FIA awarded Watkins Glen the U.S. Grand Prix, and it ran here for 20 years.
Today, the Glen is the home of NASCAR's premier road race.
People used to say to my father, well, you weren't a NASCAR fellow. aren't you sorry that sports cars are not the premier? And he said, nonsense. I'm so proud that NASCAR has now made it one of their premier races. And I think the NASCAR drivers like the road track.
Along the way, the local public library began to assemble a treasure trove of motorsports archives, photographs, and memorabilia. The problem, where to keep it all, and how to make it accessible to the public.
John Bishop, who had founded IMSA, was concerned that a lot of the racing material that had been created over the years was being lost. People were throwing it away. So in 1998, which was the 50th anniversary of road racing in Watkins Glen, a number of people in the racing community, including the Collier family and John Bishop, got together and built the building we're in right now, which is about a 5,500 square foot purpose-built library. There are a lot of museums, car museums around the country, but we're unique. We really have the philosophy of a library. But unlike librarians that make you shh, we let people come in and they can have hands-on. We have material from all over the world. We last year got an extensive collection from Germany, a lot on the Nürburgring. We also have extensive collections on Indianapolis and stock car racing. We have original letters signed by Tazio Nuvolari, for example, which are fun for people to see. Sometimes we get racing gloves from Fangio, and those are little mementos we keep in addition to the actual serious archives. In this Motor Racing Research Center, we hope to be the Cooperstown of motor racing with all of the items we have here.
Folks, what a fabulous facility. You know, Cameron Argetsinger had a very large family. There were 9 children in his family. So right now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the International Motor Racing Research Center president and a member of that large Argetsinger family of Watkins Glen, J.C. Argetsinger.
Well, Jerry, with that film and with everything you've said, you've just taken my whole script. I don't have anything more. Now, my brother Duke tells me there's a teleprompter here, but we all know President Obama one time, the wrong one was on, and he started reading. But seriously, we are just thrilled and honored to be recognizing the great contributions that Chip Ganassi has made for racing. And we will be hearing more about him. We've already heard about his many, many accomplishments. But also, I'm really heartened by the fact that the award he is being given also pays tribute to my father's memory. As you heard, he was the fellow who had this idea to have a road race. There really had not been road racing since before World War I of any major quality in America. He introduced that road race. He raced in that. He was a competitor. And he also brought road racing to prominence in America, fostered international racing, and as you heard, he organized the U.S. Grand Prix, which ran successfully for 20 years at Watkins Glen. Now, we also hope to introduce you a little bit to the Motor Racing Research Center. That was a wonderful video of it, and I've got to say that I don't want to be talking too much about my family, but it was the brainchild, and it came into fruition by the efforts of my mother, Jean Argetsinger, and by John Saunders. John at that time was president of WGI. My mother was then president of the Watkins Glen Public Library. And they worked tirelessly to bring this about. And I'm delighted that John and Barbara Saunders are both here. John is still our vice chairman of that organization. And my mother wishes she could be here tonight, but she sends her love and best wishes. Now, Jerry mentioned that we do have a large family, 9, and we have some of them here tonight, and I'll just ask them to stand briefly. My brother Duke from Arizona, and my brothers Peter and his wife Shokia, and my brother Michael. Both of these fellows are veteran drivers of some 45 years. They went into racing, they caught that bug. And I'm also pleased to say my son, Cameron's grandson, that is Cameron II, is here with his wonderful wife. And fortunately, he followed his grandfather's other career, he went into the practice of law. So I'm glad Cameron's up here from Washington. But I do really want to thank ISC and IMSA and also NASCAR for being the primary sponsors tonight. These organizations have been with us since the start, and they've been very, very helpful, and we're delighted to have that close relation. I also must thank Corning Incorporated, providing this nice hall tonight, and Corning Incorporated was also one of our primary sponsors back when the building was built. Corning has done so many wonderful things for this bigger community. Witness this glass museum, and I hope you walk around afterwards and take a look at it. And they also, I think it should be noted, came to the rescue of the Watkins Glen racetrack in the early 80s and ran it for a while, then ably succeeded by ISC. We know that in so many endeavors mankind's involved in, particularly high energy endeavors, dynamic endeavors, that frequently no one is worried about preserving the story. Now, racing is only a little over 100 years old, and it's only been more recently that we have been trying to preserve that story. During the 1960s, the Watkins Glen Public Library, and I'm pleased to say that there are so many people from that library board who are in the audience tonight, they started getting calls from around the world wondering about the statistics of this race and that because of our international fame. So they began collecting reference material. Soon it was a shelf, and then pretty soon it was a corner of the building. But there was a recognition with this collection that much of racing was being discarded. People were throwing out Grandpa's pictures, and it was being lost to future generations. So, as I mentioned, John Saunders and my mother thought, what are we going to do to commemorate 50 years of racing at Watkins Glen? And they persuaded the Watkins Glen Public Library, under their leadership and guidance, to acquire additional real estate, and they helped them raise money, and a number of other people in the racing community. Our wonderful sainted IMSA founder, John Bishop, was forefront there. Last night he was honored at the Motor Racing Hall of Fame in Detroit. And John, who just died in June, stayed on our board right until the end. And along with the Collier family and another group of prominent racing citizens around the country, built this magnificent 5,500 square foot building. Now, in our 15 years, we have not only survived, but we've thrived. We get collections from around the world. I referenced that Nürburgring collection. Every time we get a major collection, it seems, it just spawns more. A couple of years ago, we were fortunate enough to get the 75 years of the National Speed Sport magazine, Chris Economacki's magazine. And when that news came out, more people wanted to give us more things. Every day, collections come in, well, every week anyway, large collections come in from around the world, and we carefully catalog all of that. Now, in the wintertime, you'd think there wouldn't be much activity in Watkins Glen, but we sometimes get researchers from as far away as Japan and Australia who kind of set up camp in Watkins Glen and spend time in our research alcove there and preparing books. We also, and this is fun, we get calls from people to say, hey, who won at Langhorne in '57? Or was it Milwaukee he won? Because we do have all kinds. It's just not sports car racing. We have an awful lot of NASCAR history. We have IndyCar racing. We have all sorts. And somebody will call in and say, hey, I think my grandfather, did he actually race at Le Mans, or was it at Daytona? And we know the answer. We know just where to look. We have growing pains because we're running out of space. We'd like to build another edition, and we will. We've got that on the drawing board. But as Jerry said, we're a nonprofit organization, a 501c3. We really don't receive any corporate or governmental support. We'd love to, but we do rely on people like you. And there are thousands of people, believe it or not, who send us their $50. We hope it's $250, and frequently it's $2,500 annually. And we have operated that way for all of these years, just people voluntarily not only sending in rare material, films, and so forth, but sending in their financial support. Now, you may have seen that Fiat Abarth out there. That's one of our fundraising activities, and we hope that maybe all of you will consider maybe buying a ticket or becoming a contributor. We have all kinds of films and pictures. As I said, the Speed Sport News, that contains something like 10,000 glossies from 8x10 glossies from that 75-year period. We have thousands of feet of film. We have slides. We've got rare manuscripts and so forth. Now, this tonight, in my mind, is a very, very special occasion because it brings together so many different forms of racing. In 1948 was a pivotal year in America in motor racing. NASCAR was formed that year. Indianapolis was getting on its feet following the suspension during the war. The very young Sports Car Club of America sanctioned this race that Cameron Argetsinger ran through the streets of Watkins Glen. And that race, which is coming up this weekend, that race now, this is the 66th year. It's continuous all of those years, and it's the oldest race in America. And it merges the road and the NASCAR. A little interesting fact, back after 1948, road racing exploded, and on an equal parallel, NASCAR racing exploded. And in 1957, my father Cameron and Bill France got together, and they staged, all that time back there, the first professional race at Watkins Glen, and it was won by Buck Baker in a 57 Chevy. It was a championship NASCAR race, and that series ran for a few years. And as you all know, then in 1986, it was established permanently, and that is the big race at Watkins Glen. We also had a very successful series in the late 70s of Indy cars, and that was renewed 5 or 6 years ago, a very, very exciting series. But the wonderful thing about tonight and about our recipient is this man brings them all together. Chip has done it all. He's outstanding in every one of these circles. And we are delighted, of course, that he is our first inaugural recipient of this award for outstanding contribution to motorsport. Now, there are a number of people here that I really do want to thank. We have our wonderful board, our governing board of council members from around the world and around the country, and Larry Kessler from Rochester, who organized this event. We want to thank also the public library who is here, who took this gamble 15 years ago and helped get it started and turned over the collection to us. In addition to the ISC group in Corning, we want to thank Joe Celine and Celine Packing Company and other good friends on the council. In addition to Larry, we have Archie Archioli, Bob Newman, and Dave Davies of Benjamin Edwards Company. Also Chevrolet, SCCA, Elmira Savings Bank, and other council members, Greg Galdi, Michael Argetsinger, Bob Henderson, as well as our past council member, Scott Welliver of Welliver Company, and his partner at Glenora Wine Cellars, Gene Pierce, to thank them for the wine. So thank you all for supporting, and this gives me such renewed faith in the future of the Racing Center that all of you have come tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, JC. What an amazing archive that is. That's an incredible collection, and it's growing every day. And we are so thankful to you and your family. You know, the International Motor Racing Research Center is honored to have Salin Packing Company of Buffalo, New York, as a platinum sponsor for this evening's dinner. You know, the Salin family's business was founded in 1869, and since then has produced premium quality meats available in over 15 states. Now, owner Joe Salin is also a race car driver. And because he's a race car driver, right now he's competing in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge up in Road America, so he couldn't be here tonight, but we caught up with him just recently at Watkins Glen, and here's what he had to say.
Good evening. My name's Joe Salin. It's my pleasure and our company's pleasure to support the Motor Research Center in Watkins Glen and to honor Chip Ganassi, whose successes in all levels of motorsports are unprecedented. Again, it's our pleasure to be participating in this event. Watkins Glen is a very dear spot in my heart, and it's extremely interesting and beneficial to go and check out the Motor Research Center. So again, I'm very proud to be part of the fundraising effort toward that, and again, congratulations to Chip.
Thank you, Joe, for your support of this evening. This time I'd like to welcome the Reverend Michael Hartney up to the podium, who will give the invocation before we begin tonight's dinner.
Great Creator God, we gather tonight with grateful hearts for many reasons. We are grateful for the vision and perseverance of Cameron Artgetzinger. He had the vision of road racing in the Finger Lakes 66 years ago and brought it to fruition. In the years that have followed, the world's racing community has come to Watkins Glen. The greatest drivers of the world have come here and are still coming. We are grateful for those who facilitated the move from the streets and roads of Schuyler County, those who built our world-class track, and those who saved it. We enjoy it today as the soul of American motor racing. We are grateful for competitors and owners like Chip Ganassi, who continue to bring honor and respect to the sport we enjoy. We are grateful for the country in which we live and work, and the men and women who stand watch tonight in far-off places, in harm's way, serving this country. We do not forget them. And we are grateful for the fraternity of motor racing in this country and throughout the world. Motor racing is a bond that transcends national and regional boundaries. Finally, every driver and every owner has started at the back of the field or lost the race by a few seconds at least once, seemingly comforted by the adage that you can't win them all. But in the immortal words of our honoree tonight, who said that? Where's that written down? And he has nearly won them all. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Folks, enjoy your dinner.
constantly. When he does, you never speak. Must you always be so meek? Oh, Johnny, get angry, Johnny, get mad. Give me the biggest lecture I ever had. I want a brave man, I want a caveman. Johnny, show me that you care, really care for me. Every girl wants someone who she can always look up to. You know I love you, of course. Let me know that you're the boss. So Johnny, get angry, Johnny, get mad. Give me the biggest lecture I ever had. I want a brave man, I want a caveman. Johnny, show me that you care, really care for me. Johnny, care for me. Johnny, Johnny, Johnny,
Chegou, sorriu, venceu, depois chorou. Então fui eu quem consolou sua tristeza, na certeza de que o amor tem dessas fases mais é bom para fazer as pazes, mas depois fui eu quem dele precisou e ele então me socorreu e o nosso amor mostrou que veio pra ficar mais uma vez por toda a vida. Bom é mesmo amar em paz, brigas nunca mais. me a grape, crush me some ice, skin me a peach, save the fuzz for my pillow. Talk to me nice, talk to me nice, you've got to whine me and dine me. Don't try to fool me, be Julie, either amuse me or lose me. I'm getting hungry, feeling ugly. Pop me a cork, French me a fry, crack me a nut, bring a bowl full of bonbons, show me some wine, keep standing by, just entertain. Champagne, show me you love me, kid, love me, best way to cheer me. Cashmere, I'm getting hungry. Here's how to do an agreeable child. Love me and leave me in luxury's lap. Hop when I holler, skip when I snap, when I say do it, jump to it. Sent out for scotch, boil me a crab, cut me a rose and make my tea with the petals. Just hang around, pick up the tab, never outthink me. Just mink me, pull the bear, rug me, don't bug me, little thunderbird me, hurt me. I'm getting hungry, here's how to be an agreeable child. Love me and leave me in luxury's lap. Hop when I holler, skip when I snap, when I say do it. Send out for scotch, boil me a crab, cut me a rose, make my tea with the petals. Pick up the tab, never outthink me. Just make me, pull the bed, rug me, don't bug me. You heard me, I'm getting hungry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are finishing your dinner, please feel free to go ahead and do so. And we're going to go ahead and continue our program for tonight. And before we continue, I do want to mention the fact that in the International Motor Racing Research Center, there is a current council member that is here. Abe Kitchum is here. We need to recognize Abe, and also former council member Hank Kimball is with us tonight, so it's great to have them with us. I will say this, though. Prior to having dinner, the Reverend Michael Hartney gave an impassioned invocation, and that's one of the few times I've ever heard an invocation get that kind of applause. We did such a great job. And the reason, most of the time when I go to do these dinners around the country, the reason that the reverends give those great invocations is because they've been backstage and they've seen exactly what you're about to eat, and they know that you need a significant prayer. But tonight was not the case. How about a nice round of applause for a wonderful meal and your service? You know, as a race car driver, Chip Ganassi got his start in amateur SCCA racing, making it to the SCCA National Runoffs a number of times, and also raced in the Pro Super V Series. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome SCCA President Lisa Noble and SCCA Director Foundation Mike Collins.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great room, a great evening. I have to tell you, I was in the back of the room earlier during dinner telling Formula Ford lies or stories with Tom Davey and Robin. It was wonderful. It was just great. But a true story. In 1979, I sat on a hillside underneath the bridge at Road Atlanta. You all know exactly where I'm talking about. Watching a Formula Ford race, the SCCA National Championship Formula Ford race. And it was a thriller. It was a great race. The last lap, the top four cars were coming under the bridge, down to the last corner, and there was a horrendous crash. There was a big crash. Took all four cars out. Dave Weitzenoff, a Formula Ford legend, sneaked his way through all the carnage, finished first, won the race. What I didn't know that evening or that afternoon, as I was watching this great thrilling Formula Ford race, is there was another pack. There was a pack of 5 cars, and in this pack of 5 cars, running up from the back of the field to actually be racing for a podium spot at the runoffs was a 21-year-old Chip Ganassi, and that was his first SCCA runoffs finish. It was a 4th place finish in the podium in a great field of drivers. It's thrilling to think that I was there to watch. So 79, 1980, he came back and did finish on the podium, 3rd place in Formula Ford against racing in the pack, in the top pack for the whole race, and Bob Lobenberg won that race. In 1981, he jumped in with the big dogs. SCCA ran Formula Super V series in those days. I know a lot of you here in this room ran that series, and with the likes of Al Unser Jr., Ari Lyondike, Steve Earle, and Mr. Ganassi. So congratulations, sir. But you're going to hear more about Chip's story this evening, and the wonderful tale is how it all unfolds. but I did want to say on behalf of SCCA's 60,000 strong membership that we are really proud to have you as one of our alumni. Thank you so much, Chip. It is rather poignant for me this evening to be here as president of SCCA and present for the first inaugural Cameron Artigat Singer Award because Cameron was a great leader for the Sports Car Club of America in pro racing, and for the club, he was our executive director. So tonight, once again, the Artigat Singer family and the Sports Car Club of America pull our ties tighter together. And we have an announcement for the room, and I would like to introduce Mr. Mike Collins from the SCCA Foundation.
Thank you. The SCCA is steeped with rich history. We have over 70 years of archives and materials that we've been collecting, and to have those stories and stories like Lisa just told about Chip available, the SCC's come to an agreement with the IMRRC where we're going to take all of our archives and they're going to be on display where they'll be cataloged and archived at the IMRRC. And we've just come to that agreement today.
Chip, thank you for having us here. Thank you for being a part of the club, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Mike. We're going to take a couple of minutes here just to let you folks enjoy your dessert for just a few minutes, and then we're going to come back. When we come back, we'll hear from an Indy 500 winner and some of the people who make NASCAR and IndyCar go. We'll talk about some of the legends in motorsports, and we'll show some videos. I think you'll enjoy what's coming up next. So enjoy your dessert. Be back in a few minutes.